Hello, folks. Dr. Lenz here, and we are going to take a look at these two works cited entries, and we're going to figure out what is wrong with them, how to fix them, and we will go from there. So, luckily, these are really pretty close. So, let's take a look at this first one here. Okay, so I have a checklist right down here that lists out every item that's supposed to be for an entry for a web page from a website. So first, we need the author, last comma first, with the period. And if there is no author, we skip that and go straight to the title. So I am guessing this is just a little informational web page from a website. There's probably not going to be an author. That is often the case. So let's take a look just to make sure. Scroll up and down. Sometimes the author may be down at the bottom. And no, I am not seeing an author. So that means we get to skip it and go straight to title. We have that. Great. Titles are ended with a period inside the quote, so I believe we have that correct. Title matches up, very good. Next comes the name of the website where we can find this. And this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky trying to figure out what exactly is the name of the website. Often we need to look right up here at the top toolbar, masthead, Aspen University. That would be a very logical option for what web page? We need that in italics, and I say we're good. Next, we need the publisher or sponsor. Who is paying the bills? Who is hosting the site? That sort of thing. Who is responsible for it? Oftentimes, it is not exactly the same thing as the name of the website. So the biggest clue of where to look for that is to scroll all the way down to the bottom of a page and take a look for any sort of copyright. And there we have, see the little C inside a circle? That's a copyright symbol. And this is when it was sort of copywritten or copywrote. And this is who is responsible for the website, Aspen University. So, do we have the publisher or sponsor here? And here in this entry, it is not present, but that is actually correct because when it is the same as the website, we do not need to double up on it, and we get to skip it or just leave it out if it's the same. It is the same as the website, so we get to skip it and go straight to the date of publication or the last update date. So let's see here. The example has the 11th of January 2021. Let's see if this checks out. This says the 7th. This is when it was originally published. I'm not seeing anything else about January 11th. Okay, so we're really close. Get that fixed up. Now the date of publication ends with a period, so we can end it with a period right here. Okay, so I am seeing URLs pop up in a lot of entries, which is understandable. However, MLA version 8 says URLs are optional, and I say get rid of them. I do write out in another post, they are messy, they are a little bit difficult if there's a line break, they can change, they are just sort of unwieldy, so let's get rid of them. That looks better. So then what we need is the access date. Now, I don't know what is this stuff happening after the URL. Nursing job outlook, the high continued demand. What is that coming from? I'm not sure. So, and this is often sort of the confusing part as an instructor for looking at student work, is sometimes I find stuff like this and I have to scratch my head and go, where did this come from? Why is it in the works cited entry? And oftentimes there's this sort of odd occurrence where if a student is confused with what to do, they start inventing stuff and they start just grasping at anything. And don't do that. Look it up. So let's get rid of it. We don't need it. All right, next we put the access date. I'm just going to put today's date because, well, it's my mother-in-law's birthday, so why not? End it with the period, and we are done. And now it's looking great. So, up above the post, we understand why this is wrong now and why we need to get rid of it, but I also understand a little bit behind the logic, because it is at least connecting to something in the works cited entry. It's not the right thing, but it's at least connecting to something. So, I always like to make sure we get things correct, because repetition helps. Now, the rule is with titles in the citation, if it's a little bit longer, like that's a little bit longer, we need just enough of the title to connect us to the source. So the first word is most. That's an important enough word. Boom, we can just plug that in and we're fine. So now let's take a look at this. What's going on with this one? So there is something about saying, hey, if it's done by by a staff, you would put like the name of the staff, but that is so rarely the case to see an actual byline specifically naming a staff or a team or something. So it is so rare, and even if that is the case, I urge or advise students to just drop it and just go with the title, because that is really the safest bet. So let's take a look. We have I'm not seeing anything about this being staff written or anything like that. So let's get rid of it. Okay, job market for biologists in the United States. Let's make sure that holds up. Job market for biologists in the United States, that holds up. We have things capitalized, we have a period, excellent. Career Explorer, is that the website? I would say so, but I am also seeing this little byline underneath, by Socanu. So that explains why that is in the citation. So I understand there's a little bit of weird things. So I would say let's go Career Builder by Socanu as the name of the website. So now, who is responsible for this? There's our copyright. So copyright 2021. I am not seeing any other sort of update or publication date. So we are going to go with that year of 2021. Okay, we'll get this fixed up. So I would say the publisher or sponsor is Socanu Interactive Inc. That's who's paying the bills, not Career Explorer, because Career Explorer is maybe like their second label or just their website. Socanu interactive ink. Did I get that right? Yep. Ink. That's an abbreviation, so get that. So now the 14th of November 2019. I was not seeing that anywhere on this web page. So let's get rid of that. And just like I said earlier about URLs, we can get rid of those. Okay. Now, if we cannot find a very specific date, let's go with whatever the copyright year is. 2021, end it with a period. Accessed. End it with a period, and we are done. We are good. So, now let's fix up this. And that is looking a lot better.